Good morning. So it's the last day of our family road trip to Northern California. I've had a pretty wonderful time so far. Did have some ups and downs, mostly a great trip. The Porsche 944 Turbo that I picked up lasted a day before it started puking coolant everywhere. So the car is staying up there in Lake Tahoe and I'll have to pick it up in a few weeks. So today, the last day of our trip, we're gonna be heading out to Rainbow Falls, which is really close to Devils Postpile, really close to where our cabin is. Apparently it's supposed to be a really beautiful waterfall and not too terrible of a hike, so let's get going. The hike is going a little bit slower today than it did yesterday. She's taking her time. Where are we going?
The Rainbow Falls.
So this is the Middle Fork San Joaquin River, and Rainbow Falls here plunges 101 feet. Apparently, according to the sign over there, because I just read it, Rainbow Falls has moved 500 feet from its original location due to the water cutting through the rock. I don't know anything about geology. I just read that sign right there. Now, depending on the time of day you come here, you can actually see a rainbow right about here, thus the name Rainbow Falls, because of the mist and the way that the sunlight hits it. But we're not quite here at the right time, so no rainbow for us, but it's still quite beautiful. Look at that, there's actually a rainbow now. Well, we just had to wait like an hour and have the sun move a little bit and we get to see a rainbow on our way out of here. Had pretty good timing on this whole trip.
Bye-bye, Rainbow Falls. See you soon.
All right, and we're home. Glad to have been able to spend the last week with my family, traveling Northern California and a little bit of Nevada, and experiencing some really amazing locations. We made 5 or 6 videos about this trip. If you want to go back, you can just click here to watch a few of them. Got to check out the San Luis Wildlife Reserve, this fantastic children's science museum called Curiosity, took a quick swim in Whiskey Town Lake, visited a ghost town, spent some time at the Sundial Bridge in Redding, and then we headed off to Sparks, Nevada to pick up my Porsche 944 Turbo. We got reacquainted with that vehicle and drove it down to Lake Tahoe, got to experience Eagle Falls, got to drive my new Porsche around a little bit, and then had the car for 24 hours and it overheated. We had to get back to Los Angeles today, so I didn't have time to really try to figure out exactly what was going on with that Porsche. So what I ended up doing is leaving it in long-term parking up in Lake Tahoe. So hopefully I can get back up there in the next few weeks to bring it back and try to get it fixed up. So apparently I bought myself another project. Cool, good job, Ethan, good job. Ultimately, I'm really glad that it ended up breaking down in Lake Tahoe where there was parking and there was auto parts stores and, cell service instead of being stuck on some back road really far away from civilization. The other thing is I'm glad that I was able to spend the rest of the trip with my wife and daughter in the car rather than driving a separate car. This ended up being a really great family trip and I'm glad that that Porsche is just still in Lake Tahoe. Maybe I'll push it in the lake. I might actually push the actual car into the lake. No, I won't do that. I'm gonna get it fixed. It's a 944 turbo. Come on, it's an amazing car when it's not overheating. Anyway, I will get that fixed in a few weeks, hopefully. So then we headed down to Devils Postpile National Monument, which had some of the most magnificent geological formations I've ever seen in my life. It was just astounding. And then today, you know, we did the Rainbow Falls in the morning and headed back to LA. So all in all, just a wonderful week-long trip of Northern California. I was pretty happy with this Hyundai Santa Fe. There's only a few small nitpicks that I can get into when I do my full review of this vehicle. So some quick trip stats. We went 1,470 miles. We averaged 27.6 miles per gallon. I feel that's pretty good for a vehicle of this size. In today's leg of the trip from Rainbow Falls all the way back to Los Angeles, we averaged nearly 32 miles per gallon. Granted, it was mostly freeway driving, but I thought that was quite good. One of the things I liked about this vehicle is that it's kind of the perfect size for a family SUV if you only have 1 or 2 kids. It's slightly bigger than something like a RAV4 or a CR-V, but it's not as big as like an Explorer or a Ford Edge or a Kia Telluride, something like that. It's kind of a nice, not quite small, not quite mid-size SUV. Really comfortable in here. I'm 6'3" and I really had no problems fitting, and it was not a bad ride for 1,400 miles. More details on this car coming up in the review that I'll do, and hopefully I'll have another video in a couple weeks when I retrieve that Porsche 944 Turbo from Lake Tahoe. That's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. See you later.